It's December 6th. We are headed up to New York City to check out all the Christmas lights and the decorations and the Rockefeller tree and all that fun stuff. But we're currently in Pennsylvania driving. We're about 300 miles outside of New York City. And we just got an advisory that we're coming into some winter weather. So looking forward to driving through some of that. We got our four-wheel drive truck, warm clothes, beautiful scenery, and Dunkin' Donuts coffee. In this episode, we head up to New York City to check out the Big Apple during the holiday season. As you can imagine, it was super crowded everywhere we went, but we really did enjoy ourselves, riding the subway for the very first time, checking out Times Square, seeing the Rockefeller tree lit up, and taking a moment to reflect on how the world changed and the lives that were lost when visiting the 9/11 Memorial Museum. But overall, this was an absolutely fantastic trip, and there's so much more to see and do, and we're already planning another visit. We're still driving. We just came into the Pocono Mountain region or area. We've got another 100 miles exactly to go before we get to our hotel. Making the trip from Detroit to New York City isn't a bad drive. The Poconos are absolutely beautiful. And when you crest through New Jersey and then you see the cityscape of New York on the other side, you know the ride was worth it until you hit this traffic. Once we made it through the gridlock traffic, we arrived at our hotel just in time to catch the bus. Bus route 320 begins its route right in front of our hotel. It makes a few stops along the way before it whisks us under the Hudson River via the Lincoln Tunnel. The Lincoln Tunnel is about 1.5 miles long, and it opened way back in the 1930s. It's the busiest vehicular tunnel in the world, carrying some 120,000 vehicles each day. Once the bus makes its way through the tunnel, it drops you off at the Port Authority bus terminal, which ironically is the busiest bus terminal in the world. If you're looking at a map, the Port Authority bus terminal can be found between 8th and 9th Avenues and 40 and 42nd Streets. Located in Manhattan, when you walk out of the doors from the terminal, you're just one block west of Times Square.
All I can say is just stop at every corner.
They do have these pretty cool looking tour buses all over the city, but on days like today when it's just so congested and so busy, I couldn't imagine getting on one of these buses and not getting a good value because you're stuck in the traffic. Nor could I imagine being a police officer trying to respond to a scene or a paramedic with a patient in the back trying to get to the hospital and get through all of this madness. I'll tell you like I told you last time I was here. It is exactly what you see on television. It is a sea of people everywhere you look. There's people.
If you can get the song. I feel like I'm gonna lose you at some point.
Hold my gun.
They just kept walking. Yeah, let's start off.
Blinders and they could step out of bounds quick. Blind with catching pictures sitting like catching.
I love it. No idea what we're doing. I'll send it to you. These are my favorite. Right
The macaroons?
here. Macaroons.
My kids
Yes,
love
yes.
these.
I'm gonna get some in Brian.
Times Square is a lot of fun, even when it's packed like this, but you do have to be careful. My good friend Ken took a little spill here when he couldn't see the curb. Thank goodness he jumped right back up like a gazelle, and he didn't let this little spill slow him down. At the corner of West 49th and 7th, we stopped into the original famous Ray's Pizzeria. Ray's has been serving New Yorkers authentic Italian food for over 50 years. It's a family-owned pizzeria and restaurant. They have 3 locations in Manhattan. They offer a variety of authentic Italian dishes, including pizza, pasta, salads, and more. After finishing some delicious pizza, we decided to keep our exploring going. Manhattan sure is a noisy little town, with all of the horns honking and the sirens blaring as the ambulances and the police and fire departments go blazing by. But we continued pushing down 6th Avenue, where we walked past the 1251 Avenue of the Americas skyscraper that boasts a beautiful water feature that's decorated very nicely for Christmas. We got some pictures there. We just thought it was really, really pretty. And then we pushed past Radio City Music Hall and then found ourselves passing by NBC Studios, where we finally got a glimpse of the Rockefeller tree. The tree is a towering 74-foot, 11-ton Norway spruce. The tree belonged to Earl and Leslie Elbert, who planted the tree back in 1967. Leslie and Earl watched this tree grow throughout their marriage. And sadly, in 2020, Leslie passed away. Earl decided that he was going to donate the tree as a way to honor Leslie's memory. Located on 5th Avenue across from the Rockefeller Center is St. Patrick's Cathedral. With its 330-foot spires, it's one of the city's most spectacular architectural sites. This New York City landmark, dedicated in 1879, welcomes more than 5 million visitors each year. Here at the flagship store for Saks Fifth Avenue, the Holiday Light Show was a cultural fixture in Manhattan, but due to softer than expected sales in 2024, the light show was canceled. Saks will instead focus on other holiday experiences, including holiday window displays and facade illumination. We squeezed in as much as we could for as late as we arrived in New York City, so it was time to wrap it up, head back through Times Square, head back to the Port Authority bus terminal, and make our way back to our comfortable hotel and rest up and be ready for a fun-filled day tomorrow. The next morning, we got up early, headed back to the city so we could get a full day in of exploring. Sorry, Ken. We're on the way to the 911 Memorial and Museum. It's our first time on a subway. Once we figured out that you don't swipe, you tap the card, we were on our way to board the E-train, heading downtown to the 911 Memorial.
I can sit on that. Thank you. Sit down.
The subway brought us to this place called the Oculus. It's home to 12 different subway lines. It houses the World Trade Center Penn Station, and it offers dozens of retailers. They serve over 1 million people every week. The main floor is bustling with commuters and shoppers and visitors. And when you exit the southwest doors, you're right here at the 911 Memorial Museum. And as you look to the right, standing as a shining beacon for the new downtown and a bold addition to the skyline, One World Trade Center is safe, sustainable, and artistically dynamic, soaring to a symbolic 1,776 feet. It's the Western Hemisphere's tallest building and already an iconic New York landmark. The National September 11th Memorial and Museum are part of the World Trade Center complex, created for remembering the September 11th, 2001 attacks, which killed 2,977 people. When the planes hit the Twin Towers on September 11th, the world watched as one of the most recognizable symbols of power and freedom fell. From the smell of the fire to the sound of the sirens, New Yorkers witnessed firsthand the events of that day. Even now, they can recall the moments of tragedy and heroism that tested and ultimately strengthened the city. We learned about the New World Trade Center and the 9/11 Memorial Museum. We took a moment to honor the lives that were lost and to see and celebrate New York City's resilience. We made our way back to the Oculus, where we found this place called the Eataly. Check out this big, beautiful, interesting place. The Eataly concept was born from Oscar Farinetti's idea that he sketched on a piece of paper. The idea was simple: to gather high-quality food at sustainable and reasonable prices, to celebrate Italian biodiversity, and to create an informal, natural, and simple place to eat, shop, and learn, all under one roof. Here we managed to find a great place to sit and relax for a little while, overlooking the South Tower reflecting pool. We also had a great view of St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church, which is fathered by Father Andreas Fatulkas. St. Paul's Chapel. I just didn't leave myself enough time or video to talk about the significance of it, but when I come back, this will definitely be a place I'm going to stop at. Nor did we get a chance to even visit the survivor tree or capture that. There's just so much to see and do here, and to make the best use of our time, we just kept pressing on. Chinatown is a vibrant, densely populated neighborhood. The busy sidewalks, they're packed with souvenir stores, and the markets are selling everything from fresh and dried fish to herbs and spices. And I'm telling you, it smells just like it looks. And something else that I was amazed by is that when it got dark outside and these stores got ready to close, every bit of this product was put away. They were hosing down the floors and the counters, and everything was getting cleaned up, so it looked like a spotlessly brand new store by the time that they closed. Just up from Chinatown is Little Italy. Mulberry is the main street that runs north and south through the neighborhood. And with Little Italy's proximity to Chinatown, they're both easily two places that you can see in the same day. Little Italy is packed with restaurants and Italian shops, and it's been seen so many times on TV. I think therefore it became kind of popular with tourists, and that kind of might be a contributing factor to the increased prices also. And if you think the food prices in the restaurant are excessive, take a look at the condos that start at around $2.1 million, making this the third highest rent district in New York City. And let me tell you, what a beautifully decorated little town this was. They had great, authentic Italian restaurants. We had first-class service at La Nona's, where we stayed and had dinner at. And I'll tell you, this is just a place that I want to come back to and search out other restaurants and just try some different things. And again, another reason why we can't wait to come back to the city. After dinner, we made our way back uptown to Grand Central Station. It has 44 platforms and 67 tracks on 2 levels. And when you're visiting Grand Central Station, if you go to the information booth, look up and see the famed opal clock, which is estimated to be worth $20 million or more. And as we were walking out of Grand Central Station, we noticed they had this holiday-themed restaurant set up, which looked very beautiful. And as we look back at Grand Central Station and begin making our way to Bryant Park, you can see that it's an absolute sea of people. And as I understand it, this is just what Christmas is in the Big Apple. So we work our way through the crowds and we stop at this famous macaroon shop to pick up some for our kids because these are absolutely their favorite. So we package these up, take them with us, and then we head on down to the ice rink just to take it all in. The centerpiece of this winter village at Bryant Park is this 17,000 square foot ice rink. We really enjoyed watching people have a great time out on the ice, but with this great big city and limited time, we had to get moving again. We made it over to West 34th Street, where we found the world's largest Macy's. and it is size large. It has 9 stories, and there's something for everybody on every floor. First, during the winter time, they have all of these displays set up in their window, and people come from all around just to see it. But once you make your way inside the store, that's where the real magic happens. It's beautifully decorated inside. There are items right in the first row that immediately caught my wife's eye, so certainly we walked out with a gift for her. But just look at how beautifully laid out this massive store is. These floors are so large and so big, and they've got all of the name brand items that you could possibly think of. The 9th floor at Macy's, all the luggage you could possibly imagine or need. For sure, Macy's is famous for a lot of things, and most of them are holiday related, with its animatronic window displays during Christmas season, and a starring role in the holiday classic Miracle on 34th Street, and of course its namesake Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. But perhaps the best preserved piece of its history lies right underneath your feet. These are the original all wood. Check this out. Escalator number 87. Step on, up you go. These escalators by Otis are nearly a century old and made of oak and ash, and no matter how much they creak, they're not going anywhere. As we wrap up our full day of sightseeing and exploring, the night brings us back to Madison Square Garden, which is known for its legendary music concerts and historic sporting events. And to close out our night and to celebrate an awesome trip, we take the brand new entrance down to Penn Station, celebrate with a cheers.
Cheers.
And wrap up our night. They say that all good things have to come to an end, and we did have an absolutely fantastic time in New York City for the short time that we were there, and we're so much looking forward to coming back. We headed out of New York, through New Jersey, and into Pennsylvania, but we want to make a quick stop at a place called Camelback Lodge just to check it out in case we want to come back here in the winter and do a little skiing. If they have 100-year-old escalators, count me in. This is the part of the video where I say if you made it this far, give yourselves a thumbs up. You certainly earned it, and we certainly appreciate you being here. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next one.